Good morning, Bio. I'm going to get a video going for you to explain what it is you're working on today. Yesterday, you worked on finishing your CER assessment. If you did not complete that in class, of course, you can work on that today after you finish your modeling assessment, which is what I'm going to go over right now. So we have been studying the Fox River quite extensively this year, and your task and your challenge is to create a food web for the Fox River. So much of this you're already familiar with, you've already practiced. There's a few things that are new that fall into the realm of application or extending your knowledge and demonstrating your knowledge in new ways. So just reading through this, your challenge is to create a model of the Fox River's food web using the app of your choice. You can use Notability. You will be turning it in Google Slides, however. If you'd like to complete this challenge on paper, you'll still need to take a photo, very clear and in focus. I've had some issues in the past of students taking photos that I actually cannot see what the images and the relationships and the words are, which makes it really hard as a teacher to provide a proficiency level for those types of assignments. In addition to what you've already learned, use the information below to help guide your new beautiful creations. There is some new information in this document that you should be able to interpret and organize. This is called application, or applying what you know to a new situation. You may use the images below Notability or work directly in Google Slides. The final product that you turn in should be on the Google slide provided. So all that's saying is that if you do a bunch of work in Notability, you can grab those images, put them in Notability, move them around, create the relationships and the labels that you need to create. However, you will need to take a screenshot and place that image back into Google Slides. That is what I'm going to be looking at when I grade. So some things to label. Labeling means that there are words or some other way of acknowledging what these things are. So energy sources, then there are two major energy sources in the Fox River. Producers, so these are the kinds, there are two kinds of producers in river ecosystems the size of the Fox River, and I will read through those next. Consumers, tons and tons of consumers, and they can eat leaves, algae, macroinvertebrates, or fish. And then decomposers, decomposers are the things that consume organic matter. And actually, I'm going to change that right there. Sorry, I caught a small error there. So it's on video, so please do not share with your friends. So anyway, here's some sunlight. Is an image of sunlight. And that is electromagnetic radiation from the sun that powers photosynthesis. Then we have different types of watershed inputs. The subcategory is large leaves. And then the second category are small particles of basically ground up tiny pieces of leaves. We have periphyton, and this is algae that grows on the stream bottom. We have cyanobacteria, photosynthetic bacteria that grows on the stream bottom. Then we have your regular old bacteria. These are microbes that consume small particles of organic matter. And those are probably not the correct image for the bacteria that you'd find in a stream. However, it's just a nice picture of bacteria. I thought, why not throw it in there? We don't have too much that's blue. It'll look nice. Rooted aquatic plants. This is Alodia. This is a plant, if you were paying attention, that we did find a bunch of or at the Fox River. And before my aquarium experiment went bad, there were tons and tons of Alodia in the aquarium in a room. Then we have shredders. These are macroinvertebrates that eat dead leaves. These are primarily caddisflies. The ones we found didn't have so much rocks around them. They had more leafy casings, but these guys have these big things on the front where they shred up and they chomp on leaves. Then we have scrapers, which are macroinvertebrates that eat the periphyton that grows on rocks. So they also eat periphyton. Scrape up some bacteria too. Then we have collectors, which are macroinvertebrates that eat small organic particles in the water column itself and on the stream bottom. So these two different kinds that we're looking at here are primarily midges or blackfly larvae. So blackfly larvae, you can just see the hint right here. They have a suction cup right on the tip of their abdomen where they stick to the stream bottom, and then they stick these fan-like antennae up into the water column, grabbing little particles as they float by. and then they can actually bend them forward to their mouth, and they remove the organic particles from their antenna. And here we have more traditional collector. This is a midge larvae. And the midge larvae will actually kind of like attach itself to the bottom of the stream just with these little hooks right here instead of a suction cup. And it'll actually grab little chunks of stuff that happen to be on the stream bottom. Then we have darters and minnows, and we actually found both of these while we were at the river. One day we found a rainbow darter, another day we found a blunt-nosed minnow. Really, really common in the Fox River. This one on the left is not actually really that common of a fish in Wisconsin, but it's in the Fox River. And these are small fish that eat macroinvertebrates. Then we're moving up to sunfish. These are medium-sized fish that eat macroinvertebrates, and also they consume small fish. So two really, really common ones that we have in the Fox River, long-ear sunfish and a bluegill, which you don't need to worry about the names, just need to worry about what they eat. And then finally, probably the most popular sport fish in Wisconsin. This is called a muskellunge or a muskie, and yes, these do actually live in the Fox River. A friend of mine actually showed me a picture of one that he caught up in the outfall of the dam, and it was about 55 inches long. So this is the top of the food chain in the Fox River, and eats medium and small-sized fish. So what else do you want to think about while you're doing this? Your arrow should show how energy and matter is moving through the food web, and where the arrows points towards where the energy and matter is moving. I'm not going to expand that anymore. We've already covered that. You need to have a title, a legend, and labels are also important. So just so you know what you're being graded on, we're going to be scoring on standard 3.3, and we're going to be aiming for this eighth grade proficiency. So you may have already developed a food model of the Fox River kind of intuitively in your head and thought about, well, how does this stream work? Now you have some new information that is provided to you, namely how these different feeding groups fit together. And your challenge is going to be to organize these into a food web that shows these complex relationships that are in the Fox River. So this is really for most of those of you at home. As always, if you have questions, please send me a message on WebEx. Well, that will not be my primary focus during class. If I do have a few free moments during class today, I, of course, will answer your questions the best I can in WebEx. So I hope this, one more thing I need to show you. This is actually the document where you're going to be putting all those images that I just showed you. So if you split your screen, you should be able to copy and drag out of the original document and bring your images over here. Here is a preset arrow for you that you can use to show relationships. So if you copy and paste that arrow and drag it from image to image, it should actually work quite well for you to show the different relationships in your food web. And this obviously is what you're going to turn in. So make sure whatever's on here is easy for me to see and I can pick out the relationships well. You can also use highlighting to designate different categories if that is something that is useful for you. So I'm going to sign off and get this uploaded to Google Classroom along with your assessments. If you do not finish today, just a reminder, you will also have Friday as a work day to kind of catch everything, get it done and close it out type of day. So with that, I am going to turn this off and get ready for class. Have a great day.